Hey everyone, I wanted to check in with you, see how you are doing. This is the halfway point to the 2-week self-healing challenge, and I wanted to give you some encouragement and also talk to you about something that may or may not be coming up for you, and that is not having the time to do the practices. So life is busy. We all have lots of things on our schedules, lots of responsibilities, and it is really easy to just think, I do not have time to do this. And without any judgment, because there's no point. Any type of judgment or condemnation isn't paired with healing. So I hope that you can take this information without judgment. It's more of a challenge. And the whole intent of me giving this challenge is to really move me and you towards healing. And so here's the challenge. You have 5 minutes. But what happens when we are doing something that is out of our comfort zone or we are moving towards change? Really, it's almost like our subconscious or those old ways or even fear can kind of bypass our intention to healing and make up excuses. And in the moment, they feel really legit. So I am not questioning how busy you are, but I'm offering, no matter how busy you are, you probably have 5 minutes. That may mean you have to get up 5 minutes earlier, but that's not 25 minutes. That might mean you take 5 minutes before you go to sleep, but I'm not asking you to cut an hour off of your sleep. I really do want to challenge you, if this is coming up for you that I don't have time or I haven't had time to do these practices, is that, or could that be just an old fear that is uncertain about doing this practice, or you don't really want to, and it's getting in the way of your healing? And so yes, the 5 practices are there to move you towards self-healing, but really this whole process is about self-healing. And as we move into healing, we will come up against just our comfort zone and or our fears, or really just our unconscious patterns. And this tends to be one that comes up a lot with my clients. We will all hit our growth edge. And so I really want to challenge you not to judge yourself for saying, oh, I don't have time, but instead take this approach of self-healing and turn it inward to self-reflection. Okay, why am I telling myself I don't have 5 minutes? What is actually getting in the way? Maybe it's poor planning. Maybe it's I really like staying busy. Maybe it's a resistance to stopping and breathing because I don't want to feel. So take away the judgment and see if something a little deeper is getting in the way. So something else that comes in the form of resistance, we already talked about fear, but it's worthiness. And a lot of times there's a worthiness issue of, I don't have time for that, right? I need to do all these things. And in a way, we're not prioritizing our health, our wholeness, our well-being. It's way on the bottom of the list. Maybe on the list is grocery shopping and dishes and all of the things that just have to get done. And yet, those are just things. And maybe life could be inconvenienced if you didn't go to the grocery store, right? But what happens is this, who we are, our health, our well-being, it's not even considered as something that's really important. And so another part of the self-healing challenge is reflecting, going, okay, this is revealing to me how important I'm making myself. When I say I don't have time, well, I did all of these things. And what's really tough is sometimes it's not even to-do list, it's numbing out. Like if you really look at it, how much were you on social media in a day? And then you didn't have 5 minutes. So if you step back in a way you're choosing, there's always a choice, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And that's why this work is so tough. It's hard to look at these things. It's hard to kind of really go, wow, I'm doing this and I didn't even realize it. But it's important. And so a lot of this work is bringing our unconscious habits and patterns and beliefs into conscious awareness so that we can choose differently. And we have the power to choose ourselves. We have the power. We have that choice. Nobody else can do that for us. So that's what I want to encourage you to make the choice to love yourself, to set aside time for your self-healing. Now, if you just don't like these videos and maybe you don't like me, that's fine, but find something that will move you towards self-healing. Find a meditation practice that you like. Find time to go outside and walk and be in nature. It doesn't have to be me and my 5 videos. It's more about you choosing you. The other thing, if you are doing the self-healing tracker, I want you to look at, like I've kind of noticed, is some practices are moving me on that calm scale, 1 to 10, moving me down more than other practices. So is that coming up for you? I love journaling, but I'm finding that I don't feel much different after the journaling practices. Now that's just me. So honestly, I am seeing the most difference in practice number 3, the breath. And so I want to also invite you to look at what practices you've really noticed are helpful to you. And there's not a right or a wrong. So this is kind of a challenge, and then it's also a little bit of reflection so that as you hopefully continue these self-healing practices after this challenge, you'll know which ones to really use for the most benefit for you. And I want to just encourage you to do your best to at least finish out this 2 weeks, to put forth the effort. In order to receive the benefit, you have to do the work. Thank you for doing this practice with me. I'm going to continue into week 2. I am noticing a difference. It's subtle. I started pretty high on the anxiety scale, but I am noticing a difference. I'm excited to see what this next week brings. Stick with it, friends.